Good morning and welcome to another live webinar with Seat Academy. Man, I'm getting excited for these webinars every single day. The parents have amazing questions for us, and I just love the interaction that we get to have with the tutors, with parents and students, and with just explaining different aspects that not only as a parent you need to know, but as a potential homeschooler or anything like that, that we help you guide you in the right direction. So I'm going to start off this morning by introducing our team on our panel this morning. We have a parent and student there to my right. If you could just say good morning and introduce yourselves.
Hey, this is Kamuhelo, the parent of Lebuhang. Say hi, Lebu.
Hi.
Thank you so much. We're so excited to have them as part of our panel and get to talk about stuff with us today. Then we have none other than our famous math tutor, David. If you can go ahead and say good morning.
Good morning, Claire, and good morning, everyone, and all viewers, parents at home, good morning.
Thank you, David. And then we have our very famous Sasha. Time to put a face to the name of our customer service rep. Sasha, if you could go ahead and say good morning to everyone.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a lovely Saturday, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, guys. You are amazing. Right. So I am going to go ahead and start off our topic for today. Our topic that we're talking about today is none other than SACAI. So SACAI is a very important company that we as Seat Academy go through. Our SACAI stands for South African Comprehensive Assessment Institute. Okay. And what they do is they are a South African assessment body. So they're their own company that assesses the grade 12 qualifications. That, together with the Department of Education, function within a framework that is determined by the South African government. So they are the company that we work through to make sure that our assessments and everything that we are doing is according to the government. What the South African Department of Education is saying is how we should do things and how our grade 12s get accredited. So that's a bit of an introduction to SACAI. If I could go ahead and hand over to David. David has some topics that he is going to bring up with everyone. And please feel free, if you have any questions, to go ahead and post in the stream. Thank you. Over to you, David.
Right, okay, thank you, Claire. Oh, okay, I'm going to speak about DEPs or distance education providers. I think these are organizations or schools or institutions, or maybe I can say, let me just say institutions other than schools that provide what distance education. I think from last year, to be truthful or faithful, that's when I had to start to understand what is, who are these institutions that provide distance education because of city. So it appeared like there was no institutions providing this because they were not doing it effectively like city. Okay. So on DEPs, we are talking about any institutions other than schools that are there to register learners for NSC or National Senior Certificate. So the DEPs provide the learner with curriculum materials, and they take responsibility for the learners' assessments throughout the year. I think if you come to City, you can find that we do assessments every term. We do all the assessments. Okay, so that's what I can say, Claire, about the DEPs or the distance education providers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David. I appreciate that input. Just so that people are aware, what David's talking about, as he mentioned, is a distance education provider. But I will go into more detail as to what that means when we're all done chatting. So I'm going to go ahead and hand over to Sasha. Sasha has also got some topics she would like to mention to everyone. Over to you, Sasha.
Thank you, Claire. So my topic for today is what is required for SACAI registration and is the matric recognized, right? So is a SACAI matric recognized by the South African universities and is it an NSC certificate? So candidates who has passed the SACAI NSC examinations are issued with matric certificates from Umalusi. So the council responsible for quality assuring the NSC qualification, Umalusi matric certificates are and accepted by all South African universities. So you don't have to worry. It is accepted by all universities. And then what is required for the registration? So what is required would be the last grade report. Okay, very important. You can't register without the last grade report so that we can see what the child has obtained. The copy of the ID of the parent, or the birth certificate. So the copy of the ID of the student or the birth certificate of the student, depending on the age. And then supporting documents for concession would be, example, a doctor's note, proof of previous concessions granted, or anything that would validate a student from writing a certain subject or assistance needed during the registration. So concession payment will be for parents' accounts and it is not included in the fees. So that would be my answer to that question.
Great. Thank you, Sasha. I appreciate that. That's some great insight and information. I'm going to hand over to our parent now, who is just going to tell us about her experience that she's been experiencing with Seat Academy. And then we'll hand over to her son, Leboheng, who's going to just comment a little bit as well about his experience and how he is finding Seat Academy. So over to you guys.
Hello again. Yeah, with Seed, actually how we found out about Seed, I don't even remember what happened. I think I was just going on Facebook and I was in a group about homeschooling. At that time we didn't even have started it yet. And then I got the contact for another lady. Her name is Lydia. And then I contacted her and then she told me how we can start up on homeschooling. And yeah, it sounded easy. And I thought, is this true? And then I started to do my own researches about curriculum and stuff. And yeah, she just explained to me about SEAT. And we didn't even waste any time. And then I just wanted to enroll my son, as at that time it was term 2 when we wanted to end with the mainstream, because now with the COVID and everything, he's suffering from anxieties. So his anxiety level was up the roof at school because of how the kids would be playing. He would be coming back home school complaining about someone who took a pen and now he can't use it anymore because he's not sure what is happening to it, if maybe he spit on it or something. So we had to make a plan and we had to make it fast. So we just enrolled on the same day. I just filled up the application form and then everything was it. And then I just got the welcome pack for SEAT Academy. I was in, everyone just helped, and all the parents who have their kids at SEAT Academy, they just helped me to set up and everything. So it was like that. And we are happy to actually have come across SEAT SA, because it's so easy, it's so friendly. The system, it's like it's easy for you to just log in and go to classroom and check if you've got assessments, if you've got homework or anything that you need. You don't even have to buy some textbook, just a short list of stationery and stuff. And my son was very happy because at first he didn't even understand, is this a real school? Am I really going to school? But then when he started to attend some classrooms, starting to even meet other um, friends, classmates, yeah, it was actually easy, and I would actually recommend it to anyone, especially my son. My son has got a chronic and also a learning disability. So with SEED, it didn't actually, it doesn't even show. It doesn't even, it's not even an issue to even have to say, my son has to be in this classroom or which classroom, because it accommodates him. It accommodates him. He doesn't have to be stressing about writing, as he's got a learning disability. Writing is the problem. He can just type his work, and because sometimes in main school it was a bit stressful, because all the time they had to be separated and be like, those that suffer from this need to come to this side, so it's like amongst themselves they feel like they are not normal, or they don't fit in with other kids. So with SeatSA, it just accommodates him without anyone even having to know what his problem is. So we are very happy as a family to be part of SeatSA, and I would actually recommend everyone. I'm in a group of ADHD kids on Facebook. I always tell them that if they just want that peace of mind, not having to deal with letters each and every week, having to go to school about your child's behavior and stuff, and their classes are so short, like from 9 to 9:30, only that 30 minutes or 15 minutes, and then they can just be off their screen and just get time to cool off, because actually with kids with ADHD, they can't concentrate for a long time. So it actually has worked for us. We will still be with SEAT until, I don't know, maybe I wish they could have college level and universities that he can just stay with SEAT forever until he finishes his education. So yeah, SEAT is actually a good academy. Thank you guys. Have a high level. I came. Just say about. I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying it, and let's see.
Who's
I think
who's
it's
your
just
favorite
becoming
tutor?
very
Who's your
I think
favorite
it's
teacher,
very-
Lebogang?
It is um Caitlin, Kevin or Caitlin. I think she wants to say Caitlin and Kevin, Mr.
Mm.
Kevin Mako, and also Miss Caitlin Duploy. Yes.
Definitely. Wow, there you go. So those are your top two favorite tutors. Ah, thank you for sharing with us, sweetheart. I'm glad that you love being in our school. And thank you. We really appreciate it. We are definitely trying to think of hopefully starting a university. That's John's baby. We're not there yet, but he definitely would like something like that so that we can start from scratch with our
Mhm.
ECT program and work all our way up to the very end for these kids.
Mm.
So we are so excited about that. I am going to answer some questions in a minute from the someone has posted. I just wanted to ask David. David, can you share a little bit about what you actually teach and what grades you're busy teaching?
Oh, right. So currently I'm busy with the grade fours, grade 5, 6, and 7 maths. That's what I'm specialized on. Thank you
And do you enjoy teaching your maths?
very much. I don't know how I feel about teaching maths. It's like I was born teaching maths. I love it. I love it.
It's a weird, unusual point to bring across, and I know how you feel, because in the beginning when
Yes.
I started teaching maths, it was like,
Mm.
maths, maybe we didn't have the best teachers when we were in school.
Yes.
But to now be sitting there and teaching it, you're like, I love maths. I hope these kids get the same feeling from us teaching math, that you love it just as much as we do. And I think that's one of the passions the tutors have in our academy, is
Yeah.
that passion for what we teach.
Yeah. Maybe to add on that, I think these kids, they are affected by the environment, man. As a tutor, I need to create that environment that is so friendly, so comfortable for them to do the to listen to you, or to grow that interest of doing maths.
Yeah.
So if I just give you my experience, from primary going to secondary, a lot of teachers, maybe they were scared of teaching maths, or I don't know. I don't know whether they were scared or what. They could actually create that environment that is so uneasy for you, maybe to ask questions, or to say anything. I still remember I had one teacher when I was at high school. If you ask him any question, he says, you must go to the office. We must meet there. And if you go there during that time, you are going to get it. You get the spank. You see that. So
Yeah.
that was the environment. But now, for us to create that environment of changing the kids to grow this interest of what of learning maths, we need to come up with motivational ways, or I don't know what I can say. You see, so it's more like if you come to my classes, maybe grade 4, 5, and 6 and 7, kids, they can't wait. They can't wait to attend that lesson. It's more like they are doing life skills or any other subjects where they were where they dance or sing or whatever. But you will only be surprised that we'll be doing maths. And I'm
I
very proud of it. And it is actually bearing results, because my kids, they are passing very well.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
David. And I think, just as our mom was saying as well, it the classroom environment is not one where it's you have a
Mm,
difficulty, or
mm,
you're an A student, or you are not
mm,
coping in the class, or you're full-blown academic.
mm.
Every child is their own child, and they're all treated the same. Um,
Yes.
if
Exactly.
if they are having other learning difficulties, then the tutor takes that extra time with them, but they're never made
Mm,
to feel that they're not inadequate, that they don't feel
Mm,
like they can't do, because we make them all feel that they can do. They
mm,
can.
mm.
They can.
mm, yes.
Yeah. So I think that's one of the great things about our tutors and the academy. I think I'm just going to double check. Da, da, da. Social role in the academy. Oh, yeah. Question. There was a question. Do parents apply to SACAI, or will the academy do that? So at the moment, the process that we have with SACAI is that we register the students on behalf of the parents. So we don't have a grade 12 group at the moment that are required to be registered, but from next year we have our grade 12s going full swing, and we have already our 10s and 11s registered with SACAI. So what we do is we create a list twice a year where we give all of the information of our students, including their ID numbers. That is sent as proof to SACAI of our students that are registered with us. So SACAI knows exactly where those students are and what academy they are with, which is Seat Academy. So we do it on behalf of them. For our grade grade 12s that will be joining us next year, we are yes, Melissa David said that the grade 10 and 11s register with SACAI every year. That is correct, right? So as soon as the students move on, they're registered as the next grade. Our grade 12s, the wonderful thing about SACAI is that if you are a grade 12 student, you don't have to worry about being in a school to write your matric exams. What happens is SACAI has facilities throughout South Africa, almost like our universities do. I know that UNISA does it, where if you are living in Brackenfell, they give you a venue closest to you that you can write your exams for the university. So now SACAI does the same thing for our grade 12 students. We register the grade 12 students with them. Then they provide us a list according to the students' addresses, what is the closest venue for that child to write. Then we register the child that they will be writing at that facility, and they are strictly checked with their ID numbers. That is why we provide SACAI with the students' ID numbers. That was a very big discussion on that. I hope everyone understood what I meant. Let me just check this message from a parent quickly. I am busy with the process of registering my grade 6 with the Department of Education. So I have not sent the register card yet. Do I have to wait for the year end or send the documents to the department without a transfer card? Sasha, can I get you to answer that one, as you work strongly with the Department of Education and that sort of information?
No problem, Claire. So I am busy processing the registration of the grade 6 with the Department of Education. I've seen the transfer card, yet I will have to wait for the year in to receive. Okay, so in the event of having to wait for certain documentation, there are two options that you as the parent has. So I always explain to the parents, in the event of registering with the Department of Education, it is best to have all the documentation all sent at once. So the Department of Education does recommend that the parent registers the student. So what we do as the customer service department, we assist the parents with the registration of the Department of Education. So we send you all the documentation needed. We send you the application form with all the terms, the conditions, and all the information you may require. We also attach a timetable for your grade that needs to be emailed with your application, and then we also send you a list of supporting documentation that needs to be attached to that, which would be the parent's ID or the student's birth certificate, depending on the grade and age. If the student is in grade 1, then they would need a clinic card. And then also, just to answer the direct question that was asked, you could either email the Department of Education with the documentation you have at this very moment, and then once you receive the documentation that you are waiting for, which is the transfer card, because what happens at the schools is that the transfer card only gets sent once the student leaves the school, and it doesn't normally get sent immediately. So you can either email it now, or you can wait till you have all the documentation and then email it all at once. If you do email all the some of the documentation that you have now, what I normally recommend is to just reply on that email and then send the other documentation that is outstanding. So we, as the customer service, we do send you the whole entire list of what you need. We explain a step-to-step instructions and guide on what exactly it is that you need to do. And if you still have any questions, we also allow you to ask us anytime. So I always tell the parents, you're most welcome to call me anytime. I'll always answer. It doesn't actually matter the time. But yes, you have the two options. So you can either send it all together, or you can send it once. You send some of the documents and then send the transfer form by replying onto that email.
Brilliant. Thank you, Sasha. Just for clarification as well, Sasha's role in the academy, I don't think I stated it properly. So Sasha does quite a bit of things for Seat Academy, but one of her main roles is our customer service rep. She helps many, many, many parents every day and students from our section from grade R up until grade 6. I'm correct. Hey,
That's correct.
Sasha, up until 6.
That's
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
She helps parents with the process of the Department of Education in helping you apply as a homeschooler. We must remember that even though you are with Seat Academy, we are not a physical school. We are online providing a service. So you have to register as a homeschooler and us as your service provider. One of the questions, sorry, Sash, I think that's about it, unless you want to specify what your role is a little bit more.
Okay, not a problem. So my role would be assisting parents from about 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on a daily basis. But like I said, I normally tell the parents if I haven't responded or anything. I always respond throughout the course of the day, and we have one or two customer service representatives in different grade departments. So what we basically do at Seat Academy is we host our daily classes, which means that we allow your children access to the classes on a daily basis. We also assist you if you have any technical errors, and we do have an IT department in the event that you do have a technical issue with your device. So the devices that you could normally use at Seat Academy is a cell phone, tablet, or laptop, and that is all the things that we are equipped or we are trained at Seat Academy to be able to assist the parents on a daily basis. So it goes from the Department of Education registration to any question, small or big, that you may just need assistance with. And then also, we have 3 platforms that we work at Seat Academy. So when we ask you to register with your child at Seat Academy, we also ask you to supply the child with a Gmail account. Basically, the Gmail account is linked to Google Drive, Google Meet, and Google Classroom. So Google Meet is where we do our live classes on a day-to-day basis. And when you register your child with Seat Academy, we do give you a timetable. So just because we are online academy does not mean that the mainstream aspect of the timetable and the admin and everything does not fall away. It's exactly the same, because these are some of the questions that I do get asked when parents do want to register their children. And it is very important to understand that Seat Academy is exactly like the mainstream schools, if not better. And I mean, with COVID and everything, I would definitely recommend doing homeschooling. And I mean, the benefit of Seat Academy is that you have all the tutors' contact details on a day-to-day basis when you register with Seat Academy. So you can contact me and you can contact your other customer service representatives, and we will assist you with any query that you may need assistance with. And then if there is anything else that I might have forgotten, once you do register with Seat Academy, you will definitely understand that we do have a lot that we do, but it wouldn't be possible without Claire, without Kirsten, and all of the tutors and the parents as well. So we do thank you very much for all of your input, because it is very much valued at Seat Academy.
Wonderful. Thank you. I just need to answer a question quickly. I believe Melissa kind of answered, but let me just read through the question from Nadia. My daughter left school June of last year, grade 11, due to COVID happening. She's 19 now, would have done matric this year. Can she obviously do 11 and matric through you guys next year? And how does the online system work book-wise and exam-wise? Melissa's answer was, hi Nadia, yes, she will be able to do grade 11 and 12 with Academy. She will have to complete 1 grade per year. So I hope that helps. Thanks, Melissa, for answering that question for us. We truly appreciate it very much. The next one, is there assistance you offer for us to apply for SACAI registration? At the moment, we don't do personal application if you are a homeschooler and not with Seat Academy, to provide you with the SACAI process. If you are a parent with Seat Academy, we contact SACAI directly on your behalf because your child is registered with us. And as an academy, we register with SACAI for their process of going through the paperwork and all of that. So that is that part of the SACAI thing. But as far as I know, a parent cannot directly go and register with them. I'm not 100% sure on that part there. I'm just going to end off my part with the SACAI information as well that I have, which is just over here. I really appreciate everyone giving their little say with the SACAI thing. So SACAI does not accredit institutions, okay? SACAI does, however, register the following two types of institutions, okay? So they do not just accredit anyone. That was the point. Sorry, when I said SACAI does not accredit any institutions, you have to fall under the following two categories in order to qualify. So through Amalosi, accredited independent schools offering the NSC qualification, okay? And then as a distance education provider, which is also included as a repeater center, offering the NSC qualifications to learners in the FET phase, which is grade 10 to 12. These institutions must comply with specific criteria by SACAI. Now, at the moment, we are more of a service provider, so we are in between the two, but we do not have a center. So we're not counted as a distance education center like a repeater center or tutor centers. So we are individually accredited via SACAI. They have given us accreditation, which is a whole batch of things that we do for our students on in the background. Sorry, I'm just someone posted there for what Viugala is asking. If you could just be a little bit more clear in what you meant there. Otherwise, I think that is about it from our side. And I'm going to give everyone a chance to just say one little last bit before we go. But from my side, thank you guys for joining us again. We really appreciate this interaction between either parents, potential students and parents joining us, and just being able to share our experience with everyone out there because we have a lot of information to give. So from my side, thank you for joining us. David, any last words?
I just want to encourage all the parents, maybe those who have not yet joined the city, that this is the best option. It might be during this time of COVID or maybe post-COVID. City is the way. So there's a lot of advantages that we can talk about for joining homeschooling. You know, I think they are countless. I have a lot of them. Some of them may be you can create a strong bond with your children while learning at the same time. You see that we have maybe you can be able to enjoy spending more time with your children. You can demonstrate to your children that education is funny. Also, I think we have actually witnessed that during the lessons. So, city is the way. That's what I can say. I wish if all the South Africans or all South African parents can join City. Thank you for that.
True words. Thank you, David.
Yeah.
And you are right. That's one of the benefits of what we're doing is it allows more family time.
Exactly.
Definitely where where
Exactly.
students take responsibility for their work and parents are able to interact and see what their kids are doing, more
Yeah,
hands-on
exactly.
experience of, hey, what is my child learning? Because we keep nothing hidden from our parents. They are able to
A-
have as much access to the materials what the students have.
and one important thing also clear on that. I think for my 15 years experience in teaching, I've seen that some of the behaviors, if I may to say, the bad behaviors, they come through peer pressure at school. Some they learn smoking at school. Some they learn how to use these drugs at school. Of which city, if you join city, there's nothing like that. You see
Mm.
that you are having your child 24/7 every day. Maybe for your child to go out is just going to the shop. Only that. So I think it's a high time. Even my kids, they are going to attend city. They grow up. Okay. So thank you for that.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, I'm trying to get
Yeah.
my nieces and nephews in, but no luck yet. But we'll see. We'll see. I just want to quickly add on what Melissa said there, and then I'm going to hand over to Sasha, and then we're going to get ready to finish off. So, Melissa just answered Nadia's question of the material available. Sorry if I didn't answer that. Yes, all of our work is available online from the tutors. We don't really need textbooks. Very seldom the tutors will ask students or parents to go out and buy textbooks. We provide the material for our students online through Google Classroom, where they have access to work, information, exam timetable, scopes of exams. We also love to provide our learners with, because then they're prepared. We'll never just throw them in the deep end and be like, here's a test, good luck. We like to prepare our students ahead of time so that they have the best possibility of getting good marks. Obviously, without cheating, because that we don't stand for. But yes, so everything is actually available online, but you can definitely contact Melissa or Sasha right there if you have any questions regarding more of that information. Sasha, over to you to say your last final words before we finish up.
Okay, thank you so much, Claire. So my last final words would be, in the time that I've been working at Seat Academy, the company itself has become very close and very near to my heart, aside from the staff and the learners, the tutors. Um, the difference we're making at Seat Academy is after seeing students that come from mainstream school that have struggled in the previous schooling, and they are excelling and they've got learning disabilities. They're dealing with mental health issues, and one of the things that we don't necessarily advertise, but is also important, is that mental health awareness is very important at Seat Academy. And one of the things that the customer service representatives deal with is setting up counseling sessions if ever your child does struggle with mental health issues. So this month is anti-suicidal awareness month, and we will be running marketing and campaigns in regards to this, and getting the counseling department involved. And the nice thing about having joining Seat Academy is that the counseling sessions come at absolutely no cost to you. We do understand that not everybody is by the means in this pandemic, and due to a lot of parents getting retrenched. And at the end of the day, we are the most affordable and quality academy, providing quality education for all. So that is the benefit and the vision that we have at Seat Academy. And the parents' input is very important at Seat Academy as well. So we listen to the input, we take it into mind, and we sit and we have meetings with all the staff members, always trying to improve. We are constantly building and constantly growing. So this is where it's at. And you should definitely jump on the ball wagon before it's too late. There's so many benefits aside from the fact that you don't have to worry about your kids coming home with COVID. I mean, that alone is a serious matter. And I mean, the kids love homeschooling. They get to dress up in different characters like the lower grades, because I am the customer service for grade R to grade 6. They dress up as their Spider-Man or their princess outfits, and their personalities get to come out because they're not subjected to peer pressure, to bullying, to judgment. They are embraced at Seat Academy, and that is the message that we want to leave everybody with at the end of the day, that be open-minded. The world is changing, the world is growing, and take the leap. Try something new. You might be very surprised and pleased at the same time. So thank you so much, everybody that joined the webinar today, as well as the lovely Miss Mukhale as well. And I also just want to say thank you again to the amazing staff that we have at Seat Academy, because my job would not be what it is without them. So, and Melissa as well, thank you very much. Me and Sia, the customer service representatives, Abigail, we really do appreciate you from the bottom of our heart.
Thank you, Sasha. Wow. I don't think I could do any more marketing than what David and Sasha have done. They're all about Seat Academy. But just to add quickly to what Sasha was talking about, we're actually super excited to announce that we will be onboarding a social worker to our team as of next week. I believe that we are finishing up the last bit of the interview with her, and we are so excited for this opportunity because we will be running workshops with students that have access to that. She has connections with people that the students might need, if it's mental health awareness, if it's sexual identity issues, if it's bullying, if it's anything like that. She will be able to help us, help our students, help our parents. That's what she will be there for. And no, we're not providing it a service that you have to do it separately. It's part of Seat Academy. It's part of our team. It's part of our passion. It's part of our vision of what we want. And that is for parents and for students to excel no matter what. So from our side, and Ms. Michale, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate the time you took this Saturday to do this webinar with me. And I hope everyone has a wonderful Saturday. Lebogang, go and enjoy the rest of your Saturday, my boy.
Right.
You too.
From our side,
Bye.
thank you. Bye.
Bye. Yeah.
Peace. And